Hello, everybody, and welcome to Youngstown's Talk Channel. I'm Isaac here in the studio with Joe in downtown Youngstown. I am representing the MLO Bros. Joe is representing Youngstown Studio. We are live in the studio right now. It is lovely September 2nd, cool day. Let's get into it. So I just want to start off by telling everybody at home, you're so lucky I didn't win the Powerball last night. Everyone in Youngstown, you're so lucky because there would have been a lot of changes around here.
What would you have done?
So it was over $1 billion.
Yeah.
So you're netting 500 million.
Yeah.
I would have, I posted in everything Youngstown. I would have bought every building in downtown Youngstown.
Really?
You think you could do that with 500 million?
Did you think that would be a good investment? Do you think you're
yeah. Because I'm making all the decisions. I'm making all the decisions.
Not Florida, not Texas, not Tennessee.
You could probably do it with 250 million, right?
Just buy everything.
Yeah, just buy all the buildings.
Okay.
Just go door to door. Hey, I'll give you $1 million for your building.
Okay.
Give you $1 million for your building. You can probably do it with 250, and then I do whatever I want with the other 250 million, and I make
them up, like make them.
I gentrify the shit out of this place. I mean, I'm going to make it awesome. You know what we're going to do? Rooftop bars. We're going to chop the roofs off, put some glass on top, make them all greenhouse buildings. It's going to be awesome. You guys are so lucky. Next week. Nobody won. I think somebody in Kentucky, they won $1 million. But there would have been a lot of changes around here. What up, BJ?
What's happening?
What?
There's going to be a lot of changes around here when I win the Powerball, Joe.
So you're not even interested in making money. It's spend it, buy everything, and make them into bars.
I mean, eventually I'd make money, right?
How?
If I make Youngstown awesome, eventually Big Misses is going to come here and they're going to pay. I'm going to be able to charge more for my rent on my buildings. The investment, the equity in the buildings is going to go up. They're going to be worth something.
Okay.
I'll fix it. I will fix you.
Talk to an advisor first.
Before you do this,
before you just start spending the money.
I mean, I'll put like 100 million away for me, but like the rest,
rooftop bars everywhere.
Rooftop bars.
Well,
everywhere.
Canfield Fair, 250,000 people showed up in one location, so you can attract people
right
when they know what they're getting into.
Right.
So.
Right. And the fair, Joe, you didn't go to the fair this year,
No.
did you? It was beautiful, man. I historically, at least as long as I've been alive, for the 31 years I've existed, the weather was probably the best it's ever been.
No smelly people, no 90-degree weather.
It was cooler in the mornings and not super hot during the day. So, I mean, you get the usual, what's that smell? Is that food? Is that people? Is that like you smell onions and you're like, okay, is that a DeRusso sausage? Is that a person's armpit, or is that a horse's ass? You still get that. Okay. But it wasn't nearly as bad because it's not being cooked. So, but it was very nice. Also, the little science experiment, love pew-pews, hate pew-pews. There were signs on every single building in that place. And there was no violence in the parking lot this year. There was no pew-pew violence in the parking lot. And
Did you see any?
It worked.
Did you see any?
I didn't see. I mean, I'm not the most observant person. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't see anybody carrying like a rifle or anything. But I'm sure everybody was carrying. But it worked. Definitely worked. So science experiment concluded. We'll see what happens next year. But the past 2 years, there has been issues. But there was nothing this year. Zero. Absolutely zero. And then Joe, what about let's move on. Christina says, good morning. Good morning, Christina. If anybody has anything we should talk about, please put it in the comments. We don't have phone lines open today. We'll just go by comments. Also, if you haven't already, go down below, give us a like, give us a follow. As we've talked about in the past, the objective of this show is to create basically a replacement for morning radio. So you can turn us on in the morning when you get to work and turn us off when you go home at the end of the day. So moving on. Trump disappeared. Kellen says, how much money does the fair bring in? Is it enough to update the bathroom sinks? Kellen, the other thing too is, so bathroom sinks, how much did they make? How much money did they make?
250,000 times $10 a ticket. That's $2.5 million.
$2.5 million.
Just in ticket sales.
Kellen, update the faucets, okay? The faucets don't even fit the sinks. Can barely wash my hands. Here's the other thing, Kellen, that the ladies don't know about. in those guys' bathrooms, they have like the old school like troughs.
Yes.
So you go in there and you're whipping it out in front of every other guy in that place, and just like there's no walls, there's no nothing. There's morning, how you doing? You're working with something there, big guy. Good
no
job.
dividers.
No dividers. Just a bunch of dudes with their meat out.
Yeah.
Peeing in a trough. Pretty sure they have some money to drop in the bathrooms. Yeah, for sure. But it's always it's tradition, Kellen. Don't mess with tradition. I want to eat a DeRusso sausage, a lemonade, and then go pee in a crusty, gross horse trough.
Evidence of why I did not go this week.
Brian says, "Don't look at me. The joke is in your hands." Yes.
It's a way to brag a little bit, though.
Right. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I didn't brag. I went in a stall. I ain't showing her off. I'd be in the butt of a joke. But what was I going to say? Oh, and you know what else nobody ever talks about? Yesterday and this morning, the post after eating all of that greasy fair food. The post-fair poops. I'm tired of nobody ever talking about that, because that is a thing and it's brutal. The belly. It is the fair food is definitely a belly buster.
So what'd you have? What food?
I had a DeRusso sausage.
That would have been my first pick.
Do you go cheese or no cheese?
Cheese.
Yes.
Mozzarella.
Okay. And then I went a corn dog with ketchup and mustard on it.
Would have skipped that.
You would have skipped the corn dog?
Yeah.
My wife had a lemon shake. I had a few bites of her Molnar cinnamon roll, which is always a go-to.
That's number 2. Literally.
I would have gotten a Crazy Cone. RIP to Crazy Cone. There's no more Crazy Cone at the fair. Do you know what a Crazy Cone is?
I do not.
You don't know what a Crazy Cone is? It's like the cone. It's like a ice cream cone with 3 cups, right? So it's your normal ice cream cone has a cup in the middle. This one has 3 cups. And then it's like different colors, like yellow at the bottom, red, blue, pink at the top. And then all the different ice creams are different flavors. Fabulous. Brian said he had a Molnar's elephant ear and cinnamon roll.
Molnar's is the best, by the way.
For sure.
The best.
Hands down the best. When it comes
Have we ever
to
talked to
roll.
them? Do we know anybody from Molnar's?
No.
We need to talk to them.
That would be a cool person to talk to for sure.
I buy my vegetables there, out on 5 Points.
Oh, okay.
They are the freaking
So
best
that's
for
the
vegetables.
same people.
Yes. I think.
Molnar
I'm
Farms
assuming.
out off of 5
I'm
Points.
assuming.
Or no longer 5. The 5 roundabouts.
5.
5 roundabout. But yeah, that would be somebody interesting. How many cinnamon rolls do you go through at the fair? I mean, you got to be prepping for a month.
We went to
in
their
advance.
actual farm and we buy all our vegetables from Molnar's.
Do they sell cinnamon rolls at the farm?
They do not sell the same cinnamon rolls. They sell baked goods, so they sell cinnamon rolls with
I
different.
feel like that's a missed opportunity. It can't be the same people.
For sure.
It can't be the same people.
But how many Molnars are there? It's not a common name.
Maybe it's their business play and their marketing play that you exclusively sell them at the fair to get people amped up and keep your sales at the fair high. Because if not, you don't see a White House Fruit Farm donut trailer at the fair, do you?
So if you would you be pissed if White House went to the fair and didn't sell blueberry donuts?
Probably. I'd probably be a little
vice
upset.
versa if they sell them at the
But
fair.
I don't think
blueberry
they do
donuts.
good. It's the same thing as the business model of Antone's. The Antone's pasta bread bowl at the fair is something that was special. And then they open a store and they start selling them, and they don't do super well. I mean, maybe they do great, but I would never get a pasta bread bowl outside of the fair.
All right, I'm going to make contact because I need to know if there are more than one Molnar's that are hitting.
I know in Austin town, there's a trailer over there in one of the parking lots, and I don't know how often they sell cinnamon rolls, but Columbia, if you want a Molnar cinnamon roll and you missed it, Columbiana Street Fair, there will be a Molnar's trailer there. I'm going again, best believe, because I live pretty close to that downtown Columbiana. Brian said they set up out in Austin town near Turner Road when they aren't fairing. Yeah, for sure.
They own a lot of corner plots to sell their stuff.
Good for them. That's smart. That's very smart. But yeah, it was beautiful fair. It was one of the best for sure.
Any shows? Sure. Demolition Derby?
I didn't do any of the shows. Marshall didn't run in the Wiener Derby. And I heard Skinnerd was last night. I didn't see I want to see the freaking solo of Freebird for sure. It's the most American thing ever. Skinnerd. But okay, so what happened with Trump? Back to Trump. Where did he disappear to?
All right, so it's a holiday weekend, and he went golfing. Okay. But because he did not engage with the press pool or media at all during the last 5 or 6 days, they just made
up that he left.
No, he died. Like the rumors were that he was totally in ill health and he died. So this is sort of reminiscent to when Joe Biden lost his mind and pressed it.
And they said he was fine and everything's great.
Exactly.
The best sharp as a tack.
Spry as a teenager.
Yeah.
Spry as a teenager.
He's totally fine. So all the Trumpers, your Lord and Savior, did not die.
He did not die. He's got a press conference at 2:00 today with a big announcement. Right. Huge. The biggest announcement ever.
I'll tell you what, though, when the press really leans into something, they can scare the crap out of a lot of people, can't they?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Maybe that's a good reason for why the press shouldn't be one-sided. That's a good argument, right? Maybe the press shouldn't be one-sided. I don't know, though. I'm just a guy. Dennis said the best version of Joe we've seen. Right.
What is that reference to?
Brad said, that's not Skinnerd. It's a tribute band. All the members I know still alive despise this Skinnerd. There's no original members of Skinnerd still alive, are there?
Listen, these franchise bands, Great White, Skinnerd, they keep the theme going.
Yeah.
For even our kids and our kids' kids. Do you want your kids to hear Freebird when they're
Hell yeah, I want them to hear Freebird.
So does it matter?
I guess the most important thing would be the singer. Like, I feel like Journey did a good job of getting a singer that sounds just like the original.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that would be. But I'd love to hear it. I told somebody to share it in Everything Canfield so that I can get an idea. I believe Army Pile still is.
Well, I'll tell you this. Like, if modern rock bands were doing what they were supposed to do, they would replace the Skinnerds and the whatever. But because we don't have musically, we're so effed right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, even rap isn't what it used to be. And I mean, maybe it's once you hit 30, you start saying stuff like that. But today's rap is just horrid.
Who is probably the pinnacle of rap right now?
I don't even know, man. It's like the mumble rappers are all huge right now. It's just so bad. So bad. But back to Trump. Sorry, we're bouncing all over today, ladies and gentlemen. Music peaked in 90s. The 90s was a great time for music with the introduction of grunge and alternative. And then the problem was that new idea was then regurgitated over and over and over and over to the point where you have 2000s metal bands and heavier bands are atrocious.
Yeah.
You get into some of the worst music in the early 2000s for rock. And then
look at your playlist and find your favorite songs and what the release dates were for those songs.
Right.
It is not 2020s.
Youngstown Studio. This is from BJ, who knows music. All the original members of Skinnerd have passed away. Gary Rossington was the last one standing, and he passed in 2023. That's what I thought too. Yeah. And I don't know that much about music, so. But
it's important we keep that good music alive because if not, we're going to replace with this mumble rock, mumble rap.
Correct. And so it's super interesting because in the 90s there was both good rap, good rock,
who was your
alternative.
Who was your favorite rap rock of your era?
So then. Then rock faded. Rock faded in the 2000s, and you had Nickelback and all of these bands that were pretty brutal. Puddle of Mud, all these.
Metallica was mine. What's your?
Yeah. I mean,
give me your Metallica.
Fabulous.
All right, your Metallica too?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely fabulous. Skinnerd's awesome. Even farther, Skinnerd's older than Metallica, aren't they? Yeah, 100%. Skinnerd is so old, but they're freaking awesome. But all that generation of music was phenomenal.
All right, give me your grunge.
So then you move into grunge, but then the other thing too is I grew up in with early Kanye West, which was fantastic. Drake.
He was terrible.
You didn't like Drake? You didn't like Kanye
No.
West? You didn't like any of that? So, but that's when I grew up. I was in high school right around that time. But then at least you got to give them credit. At least they could create good beats. Like Kanye's beats are fantastic. Even his new music that is anti-Semitic still has a good beat to it, which is horrible, but has a good beat to it. So, but like the new rap of today is becoming what the rock in the early 2000s was, where it's just like, it doesn't even have a good beat to it. It can't even carry itself. It's just mumbling. So absolutely brutal. But
well, and that's why, like, if you had a Super Bowl halftime show and you wanted to take something that was universally
you'd have to do
loved by all people, you'd have to go to the 90s.
You'd have to do Taylor Swift. Right now, Taylor Swift deserves to be up there on the Super Bowl because enough people
pick a pop, a rap, and a rock.
But they'll never
do
for the
Taylor
Super Bowl.
Swift.
Maybe she'll do this year. We'll see.
So Taylor Swift is your pop. Who's your rock? Who's your rap? If you Super Bowl show,
I think the Super Bowl to troll America should do Creed. I think that would be hilarious. They'll never do it, but that's the move because Creed made its comeback, and you're fading out of Creed making its comeback. But if they did Creed, that would be hilarious, and everybody would watch it because it's a joke. Hilarious, dude.
Creed, Nickelback, and who else? Who's the
Jerry
first?
says, really stretching to be a Kanye fan. Nothing about him or his music is good. I disagree. And that's the beauty of art, isn't it? We can all disagree.
Jerry and I have high standards. I'm sorry that you do not, but Jerry and I do.
That's the beauty of art, right? Compared to politics. It's like you're with music, it's just something that you enjoy listening to. So it's an art. Some people love Picasso, some people don't, you know. But I think it's just music is one of those things where it depends heavily on what you listen to growing up and what the people around you growing up listen to as well, because you listen to a song long enough, eventually you're going to know every word to it. So do
you think let's just say AI takes over and starts producing music and they start sampling what people like? Do you think it weighs heavier on like NWA, Ice Cube, Eminem, or Kanye and whoever? I can't even name three whatevers. Which do you think it picks?
So that's the beauty of AI, right? And I know a lot of these artists are getting mad about it. So Drake and Kanye have gone in their directions now where they're like, we're not like our old stuff. And artists tend to do that, right? We can't create the music that was our old stuff, and our fans need to adjust with us or else, is what they love to say. But AI was able to create like beats that similar to what Kanye was and what Drake was and what all these artists were in the 2000s, early 2000s. And those artists, after hearing that music, got pissed because they've changed, right? So they got pissed and they're trying to sue these AI companies and remove the songs from the internet because it sounds just like their old stuff. And everybody's like, this shit
love it.
Rules.
Love it.
It rules. So, and I was all for, I was like, this is great. It's like an old school beat and it's fabulous. So it's interesting that those artists then get upset, but you could use it for anything. You could say, hey, I want Skinnerd, like new Skinnerd music, and it could throw something together that would be
100%.
decent enough. So the scary thing is for forever, folks have been afraid of AI replacing, the desktop assistant or the assistant that helps you with paperwork, but it's going to replace some art too, unless humans are able to fill the void. But there's always going to be changes, and there's always going to be new artists that step up and create something that's truly different. Like I love Chapel Roan. Like last year, her music was. Have you listened to any of her stuff? Wow. Fabulous, very good. But lesbian pop. Oh, she's a lesbian, but it's poppy, but it's so good, very, very good.
Is it hot because they're lesbians, or is it hot because of the music?
The music's very good.
All right.
She's a very good singer, and her story is really good. And Olivia Rodrigo, I like that too. girly as it is. I think they're good artists. I don't know. I'm just a guy, right?
Little crush on Olivia Rodrigo.
Me? No.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'd say Olivia Rodrigo is prettier than Chapel Roan, but it's kind of like when Post Malone came out and everybody said he stinks, like actually physically smells bad.
Oh.
Chapel Roan is the same thing.
Okay.
But I think Post Malone's a good artist. But you don't listen to any of that stuff, do you?
No,
old man.
I would bet that most of the artists that you love smell bad.
You think? Very artsy fartsy.
Whiskey and weed, like
right.
nonstop with the occasional cocaine.
And the other interesting shift in music is that like country has made such a strong comeback. And I think it has to do with a lot of different things, and some of those topics being rap is horrible now. So people are like, we got to listen to something. This is just so bad. We can't listen to it. So they've shifted to listening to country, and a lot of poppier artists are trying to shift with the people and create more country music. Post Malone's like all country now. And
good.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of like folkier country stuff, like Zach Bryan. That's what this hat is.
Do you think Taylor Swift goes country now?
I mean, she started country.
I know, but do you think she shifts back to country, being that is the genre of choice?
I think Taylor Swift's new music is too like poetic and too like
hippie-ish.
Not hippie-ish. It's just not enough for me. Like her older music had a good beat, but it's almost like mumble rapping as a singer. And I think Taylor Swift can do whatever she wants, and her followers, the tribe that she has, will follow her, which is why
her marketing is amazing. Like if anybody has nailed what have populist appeal, like she's it.
She is very good at like hidden messaging and stuff too, that my wife's always trying to decode.
Very smart person.
Like, this is wild. But they're saying she's gonna. All the Swifties are saying she's going to play at the Super Bowl this year because of like the coding in her interview with the Kelsey brothers. Did you watch any of that? Yeah. But Joseph says,
did you call me an old man? Like, I think you snuck that in there.
I just keep calling you, but by all of your responses to no, I haven't. Just Joe, you're an old man. Joseph Midlick says Teddy Swims and Noah Kahan. I love Noah Kahan. Love Noah Kahan. I love the artists that are folky and almost on the edge of country, but not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Those, because I don't like, once you get into country and you get to the super twangy stuff, it's
as a music aficionado.
Yeah. I'm not a music aficionado by any means.
Whatever yours is, like your flavor of aficionado-ness.
Right.
So is it about the talent of the artist, or is it about how catchy it is and how much it resonates in your brain?
Little both. I would say it has to be catchy. And the talent is obviously huge, right?
Well, give me an example of somebody who you think as a musical artist is the most talented in all of music. And then we'll get a standard. Wow. We'll get a baseline.
Wow. That's impossible.
I want to know what talent means.
I am so bad at
mechanical talent. Somebody who can play the drums better than anybody else, who can rap better than anybody else.
I could give you like top 5, right?
Okay.
I can give you top 5. I am not the person who's like, this is the best of anything. This is the best movie ever. This is the best, because everything has a different flavor to it, right? Kellen says, I like Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
Bruno Mars is a
talentless.
You don't think he has talent?
What? Give me the talent.
Bruh, you don't think Bruno Mars is good? You don't think he has talent?
No, it would be.
You don't think Bruno Mars can sing?
Vocalist, yes. Vocalist, yes.
Dude.
Vocal range, yes.
Let's go through Bruno Mars' biggest hits.
Okay.
Right now, I'll pull them up.
You're citing popularity instead of actual talent. Give me talent. Does he have vocal range?
Yes.
Vocal range,
Bruno Mars? You don't think Bruno Mars has vocal range? Yeah, Kellen, get the F out of here.
No.
Bruno
vocal range,
Mars.
yes. Are you
a beat? Yes.
What instruments does Bruno Mars play?
I don't think so. So that's an artist where I'm sure he can play instruments. Let's ask AI what instruments he can play. He's got to be able to play an instrument to creating some of these beats.
His voice, and he is not the most talented vocalist. So he's top 50, maybe.
Yeah. Well, who's your top 5?
With vocal range? You give me an 80s band that can hit notes at octaves all the way up the chain and down the chain. That's a vocal talent.
Okay. Bruno Mars can play drums, guitar, bass, keyboard, piano, and percussion. Okay. But like some of his songs, I should have bought you flowers and hold your hand. Should give you all
mid-range.
my hours.
He's mid.
When I have
Bruno Mars
chance.
mid.
Take it every part. I mean,
Mid-range.
so many good songs.
Skid Row, right?
It Will
Vocal
Rain.
range at -60 and +60.
When I Was Your Man. Uptown Funk. This is like
that was it.
This is one of the biggest beats of, and I'm not even gonna play a lot of it because I'll get in trouble. But like that is one of the biggest beats of this generation. Like
give me 20 seconds on a digital beat orchestra.
Yeah,
I can create something equally as good.
You think so?
I can.
That I'm gonna
It would
call
sound like that.
bullshit. Yeah, because that is such
That's
a
not
huge
talent.
beat.
That's all digital.
He made the most. Okay, he made one of the most recognizable beats.
That's fine.
In the past 10 years.
That's fine.
But that's not good enough for you.
No,
Joe.
it's good. Like I'm not
think
saying
we
it's good.
should
It's
change
just not
topics
talented.
because I think we can agree to disagree on this. one.
Fine, that's fine.
Because
I want to realize
an
actual
absolutely
talent.
wild
How about,
take.
Holding sticks in your hand and hitting a drum and percussion and doing a physical thing to make a beat rather than
Why
programming on a
does
computer.
talent have to be a specific thing to you, Joe?
Because
Why can't talent just be anything?
because AI can
holy
replicate
shit,
it?
That's
No.
amazing. I literally can be anything.
No, I
Holy
appreciate
crap, is that amazing?
I
That's a really
appreciate
good
what
beat.
he's done, but it's easy replicatable.
Disagree. I
Okay.
disagree. Bruno Mars' song writing team helped write "Forget You" by Celine Dion.
CeeLo Green.
Oh, Celine Dion. Celine Dion's next. Yeah. I've been driving around town like a girl.
Look at that range. So mid. So freaking
That's
mid.
a great jam too. But that guy fiddles kids, so that CeeLo got in some trouble. But
It's catchy. Like I'll give you that. It's
Yeah.
very popular.
you can't say that's not a catchy song. That's a great song.
100%.
Celine Dion will always be the GOAT. Celine Dion, she's got some bangers. Definitely got some.
She got vocal
She's
range.
got the range too.
I'll give
for
her
sure.
that.
Brian
Way
says,
better than Bruno
was
Mars.
Uptown Funk's best bass line a sample? So
Probably.
it was like, it's interesting if you do that with super popular songs, anyone from Taylor Swift to anybody, they just, because of what's catchy and what's not catchy throughout generations, there are songs that are so similar.
Oh, you mean
that-
copying? Like
It's copying, but it's
total copying.
kind of copying.
Yeah. Vanilla Ice and Queen.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Well,
dun,
that's
dun, dun,
straight
dun.
up the same thing. That's straight up the same thing. But that's a good YouTube wormhole to jump into because artists copy each other without even knowing it
That's right.
sometimes over, and it's regurgitated.
Right.
But if you do it too much, that's when you have like rock and roll, like hair metal is a perfect example of they like almost copied Kiss over and over and their like crazy look over and over and over to the point where then hair metal became something in the 80s. It's like, oh my God, this is too much.
But you have the originators like the Jimi Hendrix of the world.
Yes.
Like that's
Yeah.
a person
Hendrix
who went into the
rules.
writing room
Yeah.
and made his own chords. He
Yes.
wasn't like, let's
Yeah.
start with someone popular. Let's go Beatles and
Yeah.
like make it into mine. Like,
The stuff he could do with the guitar was so far out there.
yes.
It's just next level.
Do you think it's hard for an artist not to accidentally copy somebody, even if you're trying to put
Yes.
original stuff
100%.
together? So much stuff has been created.
Have you ever heard like the chord song? There's some Australian
Yes.
dudes that
Yeah.
put together
4
the
chords?
chords. So, yeah, 4 chords that are used in so many different songs, and
Yeah.
they just sing all the different songs. It's got to be. It's sampling. Yeah. Queen was unique in their day, and I still love their songs. Yeah, Queen is. Freddie Mercury was ridiculous.
That's why it's so hard to let go
Ridiculous.
some of those old bands
Yeah.
is because they created it,
Right.
and modern places, modern
Yeah.
groups just copy it.
And the people who I think are standouts too are when artists of today and the last generation are like, hey, I looked up to this person. I looked up to Hendrix, and that's why my music, that shows if everybody's on the same page that person revolutionized, that artist revolutionized music, that is somebody who is obviously huge because all of the artists of today looked up to them. So for sure. And Hendrix is one of those artists. No, Brian says not saying similar, saying paying copyright fees sample.
Yes.
Did Bruno Mars do that for that song, Uptown Funk? We could Google it, or we could AI it. Kellen says Queen was unique. Yeah. But still, I mean, Bruno Mars, talented for sure.
Were we going to talk about Trump? We were leaving.
I mean, we just freaking spiraled off. But yeah, okay. If anybody else wants to talk about music, comment it down below, and we'll keep talking. We can give you our
today's music sucks. Older music is great because the originators.
For sure.
Sorry,
for sure. And I'm sure there is some newer stuff that is good. Like Chapel Roan is very much, you should listen to her, very much different compared to
Creed and Nickelback.
Correct. Yeah. Us boomers were good for something. Music. I will give boomers credit. You guys in the 60s, the 50s, 60s, even dabbling in the 70s, before the government really cracked down on drugs, you guys had some artists that got high as crap and made some really, really, really good music. Yes. Because you guys were so high and you created some good music. So, but what happened with Trump? Tell me the story.
So for the holiday weekend, Trump took a little bit of a vacation from meeting with the press, making public appearances, canceling all kind of events.
Okay.
And so the liberal Democrats were like, hey, let's take a page out of the playbook of Biden is dead in the head. And let's see if we can attribute this to Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So Trump is sick.
Yeah.
He's mentally incompetent. Mm-hmm. And now he's at Walter Reed dying imminently. And on Tuesday, we're going to have a new president.
What did they say was killing him?
Nothing. No, it was just the fact that he hasn't made a public address.
It was interesting from you could bet on Trump being dead to everything. It was wild in a matter of 24 hours.
They had AI images of his skin melting off of him like some kind of slime man.
I love the fact that Trump goes off radar for 48 to 72 hours and the left already said he was dead and they used a body double.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because that's what they said about Biden.
I know.
They took the exact same play.
Yes. Everything that worked against Joe Biden, they're like, I can't wait for my moment.
And they're doing the same thing with they're saying he's not running the government, someone else is running the government. I'm like, you guys.
So what's that? Make a prediction. The auto pen thing is next.
Regurgitation of music, regurgitation of political marketing and advertising.
No new ideas.
Come on, guys. The left is better at memes, though. I'll give him credit. The left is better at memes. I don't know. I just feel like over the course of the past couple of years, the left has been better at memes. And
I don't think they have a sense of humor. I think their memes are bad because they're
it's very
they're
punk.
Just copied.
It's very punk and very far left to not like humor, because if you like humor too much, you're picking on people, and they are always on the side of empathy and always defending the side of be nice to everybody.
Speaking of which
they're so nice to everybody that they start yelling at people that they're not nice enough, and they're rude to people for not being nice, which kind of hypocritical, but I don't know.
Celebrating the death of President Trump, do you classify that as nice or not?
Yeah. Like, oh, you're so empathetic that the president died. Oh, but it's okay because he's a giant pile of crap and we hate him.
And a Nazi.
And he's a terrible person. So you have to be empathetic to everyone unless they don't agree with you.
I would say that's not nice.
I would say that doesn't make any sense. Unless you're empathetic to all religions except Christianity.
All right, no hate except asterisks.
Unless they're Christians, then
white dudes.
Yeah. You can't pick on anybody unless they're white guys.
Right.
And I really do think that's coming to an end. Really, really do. Okay. I've got a very fun question for you, Joe.
I'm ready.
Very fun situation I was in this summer, and if anybody knows who I'm talking about, I hope they don't. But I went to a wedding.
Okay.
You go to a wedding, Joe.
Yeah.
Beautiful wedding. Love everybody involved. Absolutely beautiful situation. But they're beautiful wedding, beautiful location, beautiful everything. You go to a wedding, okay, and you're invited to be a groomsman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go to the rehearsal dinner. One of the bridesmaids is a guy. Okay.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Bridesmaid is a guy?
One of the bridesmaids is a gay man. I have nothing against gay men. Gay men are wonderful. Do whatever you want. I don't care. One of the bridesmaids is a guy, gay man. Okay. Gay man got with the bride. It's like, hey, I don't know how this happened. Number one, I guess for the ladies, if you had a bridesmaid that was a guy and he's like, hey, I'm wearing a dress, what would you do? Comment down below what you would do. Now, number one, that's the ethical dilemma. If your gay friend, you have him as a bridesmaid, do you, number one, tell them you're wearing a suit or you're wearing a dress?
Do gay people wear dresses? Like, is this a new thing?
I don't think you put all of gay men into a box. I think some are going to wear dresses, some are going to wear,
he would be a groomsman.
Right, but I don't think that's not what they wanted to do. So, and totally, they can do whatever they want. Like, okay, I think some gay men are going to wear. Some gay men are going to wear suits. Some, if they're more feminine, they're going to wear dresses. So there's that dilemma that you have in your wedding. I want my wedding to be perfect. Do you make your gay friend wear a suit as a bridesmaid, or do you make them wear a dress, or do you make them a groomsman? That's ethical dilemmas all over the place. And I'm just sitting here watching this wedding, and I'm like, wow, I have so many questions. So, I guess it's whatever the bride and groom are okay with.
Missing element. Huh? So, as a gay person, are they a cross-dresser? Like out on the street when you see them, are they feminine dressed and whatever?
So, trying not to put all of gay men into the same bubble, it would just depend on how feminine they are. How flamboyantly gay are they?
Yeah. So I would take a snapshot.
Go ahead. So this was someone who was wearing a dress. Okay. So I don't know. They got with the bride. They determined I'm wearing a dress. So then you, Joe, as a groomsman, the bride and groom approach you and say, Joe, you're going to walk down the aisle with Jimmy, who is the bridesmaid. Are you, number one, are you okay with that?
I'm fine with it.
You are?
I'm cool with my sexuality.
Right.
Yes.
Are you talking about Luke? Yes, Carter. Kellen said, I'd have him wear a suit that has accents of the bridesmaid's dress color. Maybe a vest that matches the dresses. What if he says, no, I don't want to. I'm wearing a dress at your wedding. What do you do? So that is a question that I feel like a lot, like I feel like everybody in this wedding was on the same page and super cool. Like, hey, we'll do whatever. He didn't walk with one of the groomsmen though. He walked, it was when it was his turn to walk down the aisle when they introduced everybody and they walked out. It was groomsman, bridesmaid, him holding on to the other side of the bridesmaid. So did they have a conversation with everybody? Like, hey, this is what Jimmy's gonna do. I don't even remember what his name was. This is what Jimmy's gonna do. Or what if they approach you and they're like, hey, Joe, you have to walk down the aisle with Jimmy. He's wearing a dress. Well, you're cool with that?
When you're paired with somebody in a bridal party, it's not an immediate hookup. Like, it's
no,
not
I know,
like,
but are you gonna? Because here's the thing, Joe. I go to a wedding.
Yeah,
I go to a wedding, and you're walking down the aisle with the dude with the dress. I am taking that picture, and I am putting it as my contact picture of you forever. So you're gonna let your boys bust your balls forever?
I'm cool with that. Like, it doesn't bother me at all.
I am the type of person that it is your wedding. Right. And you just invited me to be a groomsman. I will do whatever you want me to do. I will, it's your day. You want me to walk down the aisle with a guy I'm the same mentality. But I feel like there are a lot of guys out there that wouldn't be okay with that. And that is I was just like sitting there. I was like, this is such an interesting situation. And then I ask myself too, how many boomers in this crowd are watching this and just like, this is offensive. Like, if there's anybody offended by it.
So my standard of being offended is forcing me to do anything. So if I walk next to somebody down an aisle, I don't freaking care.
Right.
If they make me do something, like if I have to tongue kiss Jimmy, like that's a no starter.
Okay, Joe.
No butt play, no nothing.
Joe, come over here. Come over here.
No,
come
no.
around. Come around.
Nope.
Come around. BJ, will you come out here real quick?
BJ, I'll do it.
BJ, come out here real quick.
This
I need your help, BJ.
This has got all danger written all over it. This is a sexual harassment. I am certain of it.
I'm not going to sexually harass BJ. BJ, come out here, please.
Oh, BJ.
He's like, no, thank you. Is he going to comment? Is he going to comment? No, thank you.
He needs you to tell you to F off.
BJ,
you can
get
say
out
F
here.
off.
I promise I won't sexually harass you.
This is not required as your job duties.
Here he comes.
whatsoever.
BJ, come here. All right. So, Joe.
Yeah.
How are you? What if BJ, come stay here.
All right. So what?
You are the guy. BJ is the man.
Okay.
BJ is the man.
Okay.
So we're walking down the aisle. What if BJ's the man walking down the aisle? Are you?
No, there's
are
no.
You cool? Are
no,
you
no,
cool
no.
with him
No.
in his dress?
No.
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 We're just walking next to each other.
You're next to each other.
Dude,
Maybe
be cool. That's what you're telling him. Dude, be cool. Like
two dudes next to one another, fist bump instead of the arm length.
You're walking like this.
Yeah, fist bump.
No holding
Go,
hands?
no, holding a fist bump real quick. Fist bump, and this is how it's done.
Are we getting married now?
BJ, would you be okay in that situation? Talk right there.
I missed the whole setup for all this.
Okay, so I went to a wedding. This summer, and one of the bridesmaids was a guy that wore a dress, which is like it's their day and their friend. Obviously, they, as you're having somebody in your wedding, you know they're flamboyantly gay, which is cool. But as a groomsman, do you force one of your groomsmen to walk down the aisle with said guy in a dress?
Well, yeah.
And then are you, as a groomsman, are you okay walking down the aisle on their wedding day? Because you know your boys are going to be in the crowd. They're going to be taking pictures of you.
It depends on how much you want to mess with one of your groomsmen.
Right?
And if there's a groomsman that's like going to be super uncomfortable with it, then it'd be hilarious.
Right.
Then for sure you pair that guy with the dude in the dress.
But so even Joe said he wouldn't walk down the aisle with like the classic way of walking down the aisle, which is like the girl holding arms with the guy. So even Joe's going to make it a little bit awkward, because what if the guy's like, no, I want to put my arm around the groomsman like we normally do. Like you're in a situation, no matter which way you cut it, you're in a bit of a situation.
I feel like this is a situation that should probably have been handled prior to the wedding.
Right. So the way they handled it, like I told Joe, was they had the groomsman, then the bridesmaid, a female bridesmaid, and then he linked arms on the other side of the female bridesmaid. And then I think they had one of the other groomsmen, because you had an even number, right? So then I think they had one of the groomsmen walk the mom of the bride down at the beginning, so that they avoided the bridesmaid male in the dress from walking by himself. But
did the male bridesmaid, I assume he got the same bridesmaid dress as the rest of the girls, right? Or no?
No, they were all wearing, it was one of those deals where they all wear similar dresses with a similar color scheme. So yeah. Joe, I can't believe you'd make it awkward for that couple, and you would demand, no, I'm not walking down linked arms like the. Well,
I probably wouldn't walk down with a paired up bridesmaid if it were me, because that's reserved for my wife. And
no, in a wedding, no, you walk out, even if you're married, you still link arms.
See, I don't know about that.
I think you're creating an excuse now, Joe. I need to get remarried and put you in my wedding so that I can see if you'll
arms.
do it with a female bridesmaid.
Depends. If she's totally hot, like that would make my wife feel completely uncomfortable, and I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think weddings I've been in. Yeah, I didn't even know but yeah, I don't know. It's just such an interesting situation, and I'm sure there were some older folks in the crowd.
I've never been in that position. Do you hang out with your partnered up person for that wedding, or like what's just one little walk down and that's it?
Walk down the aisle, like you dap it, you fist bump at the end of it. Good job, because you're all there The objective is you're all there for the bride and groom.
What's the purpose of the groomsmen and bridesmaids? Like, what function do they even serve?
We're all there as a team to support the bride and groom, and they love us because we've been an important part of their life. So they put us in their wedding, and they want us to be there when they get married together. So it's like you're just like the hype team, basically, is all you are.
You agree with that? Like, is that a good depiction?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, as Kellen says, what about a bridal party dance? Yeah, sometimes I've been in weddings, you get to dance with the person that you're partnered up with.
Yeah, that's weird. I haven't done that.
Even if it's just, I mean, it doesn't got to be like long. It doesn't be like a romantic dance.
So you two are partnered up, and the dance floor says
situation.
bridal party out. Are you slow dancing with him?
Oh, yeah, you slow dancing with a guy in a dress, BJ? You doing that? And even more, like traditionally male, traditionally female situations. Are you letting him guide you in that dress, BJ? Or are you putting hands on the waist? Or are you letting him lead? Are you gonna demand that you lead? What if he tries to like dominant hand lead you in dance?
Well, this wedding has open bar, right?
Number
Jack
one,
Daniels
BJ's gonna have to. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to be hammered.
If it's open bar, yeah, then I'm probably game for anything. But yeah. You know what I hate those weddings where it's not open bar or it's like cash bar or when there's or dry weddings. I'm not coming to your wedding.
And you just
I'm bad enough I gotta be there anyway. I'm not coming to your dry wedding.
Just look at the groom's dad and just eye him up and you're like, you son of a bitch. This is
so you'd be pounding Seagrams.
You cheap
something.
you cheap son of a bitch. You didn't do open bar. Kellen says bridal party members also help with the wedding. Dress fitting, appointments, setup, tear down, handling issues with guests, etc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember I went to a wedding out in the middle of nowhere, and they had the groomsmen and the bridesmaid at the end were supposed to tear down the wedding because the facility we were in did not tear it down and refused to clean anything up. So after the wedding, the groomsmen got out of there, and made the freaking bridesmaids clean up. So what did it turn into? My wife was in the wedding. It turned into the bridesmaids' husbands had to tear down. And I have never seen a group of men so pissed in my entire life because all of us were there till like 3 a.m. breaking down this wedding and cleaning it up. Also at that wedding, insane thing happened. It was in like a barn in the middle of nowhere. Off of the barn, there was no bathroom. So they were driving people in a golf cart to and from the bathroom. So by the end of the night, of course, all the guys were like, we're just going to find a place to pee. We're not going to a bathroom. Mm-hmm. So there was like woods off of the bathroom or off of the event, off of this barn. So we were all going over to the edge of the woods and peeing. Turns out one step into the woods is a cliff. Somebody stepped into the woods to pee, fell down a cliff in the middle of this wedding and tumbled down. And like people are going to the woods to pee and they didn't see this guy fall. And all of a sudden you see a guy climbing up this cliffside, like coming up out of the woods. And he's got all of his front teeth missing and his face is all bashed in.
And guys are pissing on him as he's coming
right. So then he crawls up and they like have to take the bride and groom into the barn, close it off, and like bring in an ambulance when they're not paying attention and cart this dude away. And then, like, I'm sure as an event center, you're getting sued. Like, somebody's suing.
Where the hell was this wedding at?
Lisbon. In Lisbon, there's this barn. They have since. I went to another wedding. I went to a different family member's wedding out there recently, and they have it all. They have it like blocked off.
How does this place keep getting booked for weddings? Is my question. Because like, if somebody fell off a cliff, you gotta piss in the woods.
Yeah, maybe not like a straight cliff. It's like a ravine, like a creek, like a creek in the woods. But man, that dude, that was wild.
Is that in the Yelp? The Yelp reviews of this place.
I'm sure now. Dude, the other thing too is they didn't have heating. They didn't have heating in this place. It was like an October wedding, and it got really cold at night. And dude, by 10 o'clock, we were freezing in this venue, and they didn't have heat. It was a brutal wedding. That was a tough one.
We had a number for this place. Call them up.
Right. But in the summer, it's
it's
a nice spot. They have like barns, all the doors. There's doors on all four sides, and it opens up to like different patios. But man, that was tough. Been in many weddings where bridesmaids were married and still walked them because it's just tradition. Yeah, totally. I was married and was in one, and I just walked with the girl. They didn't make us dance with them or anything, but I feel like that's a very traditional thing, is dancing with them.
You've been at any weird weddings, non-traditionals?
When I was little, I went to, because my mom and dad knew a lot of doctors, I went to an Indian wedding. Like Indian is in like Indian wedding. And bride and groom came in on like elephants. Like they were doing like the henna on the hands and stuff. And like awesome, really cool wedding. But it was like the ceremony was so long. But yeah, my parents took us to a bunch of different stuff.
They have like 30 gods or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Hindu. I don't remember.
What about you? Any
Yeah, I was at a lesbian wedding.
Okay. That's an interesting question.
Pause.
Right. What?
Not attractive lesbians. Either.
So they were more masculine.
Very both.
So they both wore suits?
Yeah, they did. Both wore suits. Yeah.
See, I always think that's interesting. So they match up as like butch lesbians that are both wearing suits.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So did they have males and females in their wedding party? And what was the situation with like dresses and suits? Like, was it just on both sides? They had guys and girls that were in...
it was like a big mix of,
That's the only way you can really do it that I can think of. You can't force... I feel it, and I feel like the newer age weddings, everybody's like, yeah, just whatever you're comfortable with, So, but good, like good for them. I don't care.
Doesn't affect you at all.
It doesn't affect you at all. But I just think it's super interesting if you were to, because it's your wedding day, and I'll do whatever you want. But you're putting a guy in a bit of a situation if they don't want to walk with another guy with a dress. But I mean, like, I would totally do it. I would go even farther than you, Joe. I would let him hold onto my arm. I don't care. Can't believe you're such a homophobe, Joe.
I hate affection whatsoever.
You hate affection?
I hate affection.
I gotta start hugging you more.
No, do not. You invade my personal space, and we're gonna have problems.
Salem Saxon Club barn in the back. If so, we were the first couple to ever get married in that barn. Nope. It was the Lisbon. It was an old like YMCA park or old YMCA campgrounds. Kellen says, I've been to indoor weddings in the summer with no air, and the heat and humidity was so brutal. Everyone was soaked with sweat. My wedding in 2021 was over here at B&O Station, and it was in August 28th. It was so hot. It was unbelievably hot. Kellen says, I've been to a half Christian, half Wiccan wedding. What does that even mean?
I've been to a Wiccan wedding.
What's a Wiccan wedding? Like, that's like black magic, like witches shit, right?
Yes. Lots of black dresses, lots of thumb in the eye of Christianity, really mocking the tradition of...
Upside down crosses?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very dark.
Yeah. Did you know that, like, upside down crosses was originally a Christian concept, though? That I don't think the Goths realized that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the disciples, after Jesus died, they all went to they all spread out and went to different world. They were like, hey, we're going to spread the word of Jesus Christ all over the world. And a lot of them, because it was under Roman rule, got crucified as well, just like Jesus. But they were like, hey, I don't want you to crucify. I think Peter was in Rome, and he's like, I'm not letting you crucify me on a traditional cross. I want you to crucify me upside down because I'm not as good as Jesus. And they crucified him on an upside down cross, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so that's like a traditionally Christian thing, which is kind of strange.
Yeah.
But Kellen said it's like spiritual nature, not black or evil. But were those just goths? Did you just go to a goth wedding? Pretty much.
Satanist. Yeah.
Interesting.
Instead of Wiccan, it was more Satanist. Yeah. For sure.
Interesting. Well, thanks, BJ. You're the man. Thanks for letting me walk you down the aisle today.
It was my pleasure.
It wasn't that bad. I didn't sexually harass BJ. It was just a mock-up.
Well, I'll watch him for the rest of the week and make sure he doesn't create any more tendencies in this department.
Right? He's gonna be like,
if he starts touching my shoulder.
You know what? Listen, you know what, BJ? You should sue Joe for what he just made you do.
Before he came out here, I said this is not a requirement of your function. There was a little asterisk there.
Oh, so funny. So funny. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation that I've never been to a wedding where that happened, but
it'll be more common.
It was a beautiful wedding though.
So do you think a lot of these gay / transgender are more sort of like a social contagion than what we experience as kids? Like their
social contagion.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it that. I think to an extent that it has become like a popular thing.
Well, that's the definition, is someone who's a little bit
I don't necessarily think it's a social contagion though.
Well, the true test for a social contagion, if the populace or the social idea wasn't seeded in your brain, you would have never arrived to that conclusion.
You could call it a social contagion, or you could call it like a trend.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that it is very trendy to be
so
LGBTQ.
Percentage wise.
Yeah.
Out of 100 people that are either cross-dress, are gay, lesbian, or true off the charts transgender, how many of those are people who had arrived there regardless of the support from the public versus it's a trendy thing and just kind of joined and merged into that?
Right. Just to be included in the club, so you make something up.
Yeah.
I think so. A couple of years ago, it was like 5% of the population was part of that group, and it's now grown to 10% of that group, or 10% of the population.
Gen Z is 50%.
See, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. It's not a. You have to freaking walking on eggshells here. It is
get yourself canceled.
It is right. It is not everybody's like, it's a normal thing. Well, what do you consider a normal thing? A normal thing is what a majority of the population is doing, is considered normal. Like, it's not normal if 5% of the people are doing it. That is rare. 5% is rare. So it's not every other person isn't part of that group. So it's an exclusive group, and it's a rare thing to be part of the LGBTQ. And then it's like they're saying, okay, now 50%. Well, that doesn't make any sense, because this is a group of the population that typically cannot reproduce. I mean, well, they can't. They physically cannot reproduce and keep it going. So it's going to stay a rare thing. And we will see over time if it's a trend, which I would bet it is, that 50% is just doesn't make any sense. Or if it fades away, or if it keeps going and it turns out 50% of people are some form of LGBTQ, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it continuing on. And I want everybody to be happy. I truly am one of those people. I don't care what you get off to, do whatever you want.
But every generation pushes against social norms. It's just an act of rebellion and whatever. And those people, once they push against it, that was their expression. They move on and they return to more traditional deals. And I expect this generation will do the same.
Yeah. So Kellen says, Jojo Siwa is claiming she felt pressured to come out as gay and be a lesbian by others, even though she wasn't sure she was. So she was just figuring herself out. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
So, and then she found a guy, shacked up with a guy, and now she's in a relationship. But so the LGBTQ can still say that she's just bi. She's attracted to both. But I think she has been adamant in, hey, I'm straight. And it was just, I felt pressured. It was like the cool thing to do.
And it gets you a ton of social credit. It gives you a ton of attention.
But then what happens to Jojo Siwa is if she really leans into, no, I was straight the whole time, and they are going to ostracize her, and she is going to be excommunicated from the Cool Kids Club for sure.
Well, even celebrities who transgender their children, like a bunch of them are doing it just because they want to be as woke as you can possibly get, because that gets you a bunch of attention.
I think, oh man, that's a tough thing to argue about too. And I want everybody to be happy, but like what, you get a tattoo when you're 18 years old when you're an adult? I don't think we should be transitioning kids. Like, let's wait until they're an adult at 18 and then let them.
Because a portion of those, they did it because it was trendy. right?
Yeah,
and they're going to regret it down.
Right.
Reserve it for the people who have, sort of that 5% figure would be more believable.
And I don't want to tell people what to do, but man, you start like even as a 23-year-old, I was an idiot just 10 years ago. When I was 21, I was an idiot making terrible decisions. Decisions.
So let me give you a hypothetical. So let's just say as a 18-year-old, you were like, I'm going to get a bunch of prosthetics installed in my face that are going to make me look like a gargoyle.
Yeah.
What would you want society to say to you that would have either talked you out of it or made sure you were super serious that when you were a 30-year-old, you wanted to look like a gargoyle?
Right. So, man, I would have. That's why I'm too scared to get a tattoo, and that's why I don't get tattoos, because I'm afraid I'm going to regret it one day. It's the same type of thing. Like, I would be so nervous that and I've always been like that, always since I was 18, obviously, because I don't have any tattoos.
But we're not even talking about aesthetics. We're talking about your penis and your breasts, saying bye-bye to things that you might need later in life.
And you're messing with your makeup and your like not genetic, but like your, what is it? Testosterone.
Everything. Your whole biology you're effing with.
And that is stuff you like. They say it can change back. You are making some changes that you will not be the same that you were before. You will not when you start messing with hormones. So especially like a guy, like I've always wanted to take a little bit of testosterone, like steroid usage, right? So that I could be jacked. I could be bigger than all the other guys. And I like bodybuilding, love it, right? But I don't want to dabble with it because I don't want it to affect my ability to have kids. I don't want it to affect the way I treat people, the way I am as a person. But like, man, do I really want to be jacked? Yeah, but I just don't think it's worth it.
When do you think you
were
mature enough?
When I'm done having kids, and I'm just like, yeah, let's freaking.
When do you think you were mature enough to be able to say whether or not you wanted to do steroids? Whether or not you were making an informed decision just in your personal
I think
life?
everybody's different. Obviously. But I would say you hit your mid-20s, right? And I feel like every person goes through that like mid-20s depression where you're like, okay, I got to figure my shit out or else I am not going to live up to the quality of life that I want. So I had a big career shift. I had like just my way of thinking changed completely. And I would say that was when I truly became an adult. Somewhere between 26 and 27 is when I'm like, okay, I'm going to start making some moves. I'm going to change the way, not the way I'm acting, but like there were some big changes that I made in my life for sure. And that's right about when I got married. I think I got married at 27, 28. And that's only been what, four years now that
so
I've been
your brain
considered
sort of
myself
like
an adult.
Your brain calibrated around 25, but you could have made decisions that were life altering at 18.
Right. 100%. But I mean, that is, and I feel like I've always been a late bloomer. I was in my license. I am almost 6'4" now. At 16 years old in my license picture, I was 5'7". I grew like 4 inches in college. So I've always been a late bloomer. Always. So even in that situation where I like went through the mid-20s depression and figured my shit out and what I wanted to do with my life and get a big boy job and all that stuff. So Kellen, why do we have the term pansexual? Isn't pan the same as bisexual? Pansexual means you're attracted to anything being more than just male or female. You were attracted to a male that has transitioned into a female as a guy, which traditionally, if that guy transitioned into a female, you would call that gay, right? If you still consider that a guy, but that's pansexual. I know it's confusing. And what about, okay, Joe, if you were in a situation, say you weren't married, right? How offended would you be if you got hoodwinked into thinking a girl at a bar was a girl, and then you get home and she just whoops out a wiener that's bigger than yours? how pissed would you be?
I would say really pissed.
I would be so mad. I'd be so mad. And that is something where it's like, that is confusing. That is like, that is something you got to disclose, right?
Yes.
But some of the community would say, no, you don't have to disclose that.
No, you
it's
have
like,
to disclose that.
Fucked up.
Yep.
I would be so angry. But good on that person at the same time for being able to confuse somebody that far.
There's been murderous rage on the other side of that little interaction, and I can see it getting the better of a lot of people.
Yeah. For sure, man. So bi, females in male gender. Okay. But yeah, pansexual would be those. So it's pansexual because those are trans folks that don't want to be considered what they were born with. They want to be considered the other gender. So that's why it's pansexual. But yeah, if you have a guy transitions to a girl transitions to a guy, and then those two hook up, that is a straight couple, but they just flipped roles. So then the girl in that situation is getting pregnant, and the guy in that situation is getting pregnant, and the girl was the one who did the impregnating, but they're like flip-flop. So is that considered a straight couple? Because technically it is.
A reverse roles gay couple.
Right.
No, it's not straight couple.
It's a reverse roles straight couple. Yeah. Which, I mean,
whatever.
They did everything the wrong way, but they ended up in the same destination. Like, well, and I mean, good for them, right?
So be it.
All right. I6, you're funny. You added a wiener bigger than yours. Is that what would make you mad? Like, just a pretty girl with a huge dog. It's like, what the hell is that? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Embarrassed outrage.
Yeah. I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be mad. I'm
Impressed?
I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be impressed. There's gonna be a whole range of emotion. I'm not gonna know what to think. That is just a hand of cards. That is being dealt a hand of cards. That's just not fair. Not only is she beautiful, but she's also got a big old dog. Yeah, but
I'm just thinking about the description that BJ is going to have to put on this one. Two heterosexual guys talking about things they shouldn't be talking about.
Right. That's the other argument. I can have my opinions, right? But some people out there would say you're not allowed to talk about this because you're not a part of that crew of people, and I just don't think that's right.
As soon as they say you shouldn't talk about it, it just makes me want to talk about it times two.
Well, and the thing is, like, I don't even know, phobic of any of these ways of life. If you want to live this way, by all means do it. I could care less, and I wish you the best, and I truly hope you're happy. I truly want happiness. That's what I want.
But you're married. You're out of the game. You don't have to run into a lady boy or whatever. Like that conversation, to be able to instruct that how to play it proper, allow people to do their own thing, but also insulate yourself from that experience where she's got a dong.
Yeah. And I feel like in what is that? Is that Korea? Where the lady boys? Is that Korea? Or is it is it Taiwan?
Philippines.
Or Philippines.
Philippines, yeah.
I'll tell you, they are convincing too. Like, those look like, and
hot.
I love the interviews.
Total
yeah.
hot.
I love the interviews where they go up to him and they're like, "Hey, can I get your number?" And she's like, "Lady boy." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" "Lady boy."
Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, but I think they disclose it. They disclose it. They're very
legal.
much about disclosing it, but that's wild. Very wild. But it's like, it's not normal. That by no means is that normal. It's very, very unique and not normal, but like,
well, all right. So if you fast forward 100 years in the future, what if that is normal? What if gender is completely
fluid?
Exactly.
Completely fluid, and you can be whatever you want to be. I feel like in the future they will be able to do that, right? And with no repercussions and no
Yeah,
You
so
can
like
flip-flop
baby
back and forth.
making,
Right.
procreation will
become
be
normal. It's not normal
sort
now,
of
though.
transactional. You put the egg and sperm into a little incubator, and that's how you make babies.
like
Everything else is
in
for
vitro.
fun.
Like you just you can be whatever you want. You can take a sperm or egg from anybody, and I don't think as it sits right now, you can't transition and then transition into a guy and then have testicles that create
functional.
sperm and be functional and procreating.
Yeah, but in the future, you'll be able to, at birth, they extract some of your sperm to put it in your genetic vial, and women take some eggs and put it in their genetic vial, and then you can do whatever you want for the rest of your life.
It very well might be normal in the future. It's wild. As we become aliens, literally neutered aliens that just reproduce, not even by.
So do you think as a guy, you would be more
in a petri dish?
You think you would be more effective if the pursuit of women and marriage and having kids were off the table? You could just do what men do. Do you think you'd be better or worse?
Wait, say that again.
So no longer everything else is scientifically created, and you don't have to get married because there's no family to create and there's no babies to have. So you and all of your testosterone bag could just go out and do domination and do man things. Do you think you'd be better off without that extra drama that comes with pairing up with a woman, or do you think you'd be worse off?
I left for a few minutes, come back, and Isaac is talking about sperm. Shocking. You know me.
Nailed it.
You know me, Jeremy. I love me some sperm. I think without pairing up with my wife.
Yeah. You don't need a wife anymore. Anything that is taken care of with your robot for sex and your...
No, and my wife never watches this show, but I would be way worse off without my wife.
But that's because you know of your wife. Let's just say you were born and you never pursued women. Every one of your needs were taken care of with technology. So you don't have anything to compare.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, male, female. You need companionship. You need friends. You need people around. You can't just be a hermit. Nobody's.
Dude, you put on your goggles and AI will be everything you need it to be.
No, interacting with people is a part of my nature that makes me better.
Oh, all right. Well, let me take that and just take all of your relational stuff is being handled separate from sex. You don't have to have a wife. You don't have to have girlfriends or whatever.
I still don't think it applies because it's in my nature to become close with people and want to spend time with them through companionship minus sex. I mean, I love my wife. Okay. But like, I feel like no matter what, I'm going to be close to anyone.
So your purpose then wouldn't be wielding a broadsword. It would be finding companionship with people who were platonic.
Why can't I do both, Joe?
Wielding broadswords and platonic relationships.
Why can't I do both?
I'm just having you do a thought experiment where you're picturing yourself
very competitive
where all of your man tendencies aren't in the pursuit of a woman for family.
No. I think I will always be. There is the masculine in me that like is very competitive. Is very much. I like to be I like the masculine part of me, and I like to be competitive. I like to compete in my job and try and be the best. What is that? Toxic masculinity or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I like doing things and getting good at things and being competitive with others and respecting other people's competitive nature and seeing somebody that's good at anything in life. Back to music. It's like, wow, this is really different. And this, even if this person just has a following of this many people, like that is impressive because you were able to have an impact on that amount of people. And you could do terrible things or you could do good things, but you still got to respect the game. You know what I mean?
I think you dominate. I think if you take relational things off the table and you are unbridled from the connection with like having a wife and kids, that you'd go out there and it would be all about honor, merit, mastery, and dominance.
So if I wasn't with my wife, there were situations where I would have I can think of times where I would have had more of a real estate portfolio and I would have had more investment properties because there was a time where I had the opportunity to buy a duplex on like getting close to the south side of Youngstown. Totally would have done it. totally would have jumped on it. But I had my girlfriend at the time, my now wife, but I was like, I would absolutely feel terrible if I put her in the situation for anything bad to happen. So I didn't do it.
You would have taken on more risks.
I would have taken on way more risk.
That's why you would have dominated.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
Way more risk, but it totally would have paid off. Totally. But if it was just me, that would have been worth the risk. But if I have the people in my life that I have to protect with me, you have to take on less risk.
Yeah. So men end up acting less manly, almost like quieting the manly urges to be able to dominate for the sake of family and traditional. But if you take that away and AI and robotics and technology fill all of those relational gaps, you're free more to act like a man.
But who knows what would have happened if I wouldn't have been with my wife now? Like, who knows what that's the thing about risks. Shit can pop off if you take too much risk. So who knows where I would be if it wasn't for my wife. And I would say, I don't think I would have been a better off man without my wife, because she keeps me. I get going and do crazy. Obviously, you people know I say stupid shit all the time. And I would be doing and saying stupider stuff, and I wouldn't have cared nearly as much about everything if it wasn't for my wife. Because when I go home and I talk to my wife, I say she's the ice to my fire. Like, she calms me down. She brings me back to earth. She listens to all my shit and helps me sort through it, because I'm going a million miles an hour all the time. And that is extremely healthy for me. And
it's a balancing effect. It tethers your impulses and they balance it down. So you're doing it for her and she's doing it for you. Right. And then reach a happy medium.
She is very much introverted. So when sometimes where she's like, no, I just want to stay home. I'm like, no, we got to go do this thing, because it's only healthy that you get out and we talk to these people. And I understand it drains your battery because you're an introvert, but like, we got to go make an appearance for whatever reason so that these people know that we care about them.
So in same-sex relationships,
and she cares. It's not about that she doesn't care, but sometimes she's like, I just rather stay home. It's like, I get that.
So in same-sex relationships, when you don't have the masculine person who wants to take risks and dominate, and the feminine nurturer empath that wants to whatever, what happens in those relationships? Does it go off into the other direction?
I think to some extent it still happens. And it's not about how you get your rocks off, right? It's not about what sexually arouses you. I think it's ultimately about that companionship, and it's about the roles that each person is playing in the scenario. So who's the extrovert and introvert? I don't think it matters, male, female, whatever, but I think you need that back and forth. And I think somebody's ultimately going to be more of the caretaker, and somebody is ultimately going to be more of the supporting role. And it's like a give and take. I think it's companionship ultimately.
So if I can replicate that with science, if I was able to shoot a concoction of soy and estrogen in your body, and it basically tethered all those risk taking and did the same thing that a woman relationship would do to you, but you can do it with science, would you do that? I know you crave relationships now, but if you could replicate everything with chemicals, would you not?
I wouldn't. No, not yet. No, I need to see some experiments and how this turns out first, but I just don't think it's worth the risk yet. You know.
Well, if there's a future where you don't have to pair up men and women because they play the exact same role,
right?
And you take the toxic masculinity out of it, and you take the feminist behaviors out of it, and everybody is just a uniform, personality with chemicals and technological infrastructure underneath them.
Joe, yes. Are you happy in your relationship with your wife? Why do you keep going back to you would be dominant if you weren't married? Or do you feel like you would be dominant if you weren't married?
No, she gives me free rein.
Yeah.
Like she really does.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Maybe you're making all these arguments because you're secretly gay and you want to be with a guy.
I've been picturing being paired up with my transgender, and I'm thinking if that's enough feminine
Lady
for me
Joe.
to get by.
Lady Joe with her long flowing hair. She would.
Is she hot? Like,
we love us a little short queen, you know. We love us a short queen.
It could do it for me.
If you could, would you give? If you were a lady, would you give yourself big old boobs?
100%.
Big, just
huge, back breaking.
Just
bad
walk
posture.
Walk in the room, and everybody's looking boobs.
100%. Why not? Why not? Huge advantage in the marketplace.
I mean, even as a guy, I got a donk on me. Like I got a dump truck on me, so I feel like I'd be pretty curvy, you know.
So that 18-year-old that as soon as she turned 18, she made $10 million on OnlyFans because what she was willing to do. Tell me that's not a great decision for her package.
I don't think it's a great decision for her package because I think ultimately that is going to affect decision making in the future. I think it's going to affect the course of your life.
Play it out. She goes to work at Arby's and she's got now $340 in the bank, and you compare it to had to make some concessions with what moral she was willing to do, and she's got 10 million. They put those two side by side and says, hey, here's two futures ahead of you. Which one would you want more?
So here's the thing. If you're going to go that route and you're going to do OnlyFans and you're going to hook up with random guys and you're going to have a bunch of partners, just know that statistically speaking, more partners you have when you inevitably do get married, if you go that route, the higher the chances are statistically that you're going to go through divorce because you're going to struggle with companionship because you've had all these partners. Like, I think that's statistically proven, right? So if you're going that route, you better be talking to someone to sort through that trauma that you're putting yourself through.
So let's just say you weren't married right now and you had to enter the dating scene.
Yeah. Oh God.
What would you?
Can I first? Let me just say that would suck ass.
Okay.
I would hate that.
Now, would you have to move your standard from I want to meet a virgin to I want to have somebody that had less than 100 partners?
Of course. I don't like your standards would obviously have to shift a little bit, you know. And I'm not saying a virgin. I'm just saying just know that in the back of your head. The more people you hook up with, the more statistically, the higher the chances are you're going to go through divorce with your eventual partner. That's all I'm saying. But no, obviously you'd have to shift your.
Did you hear about the new OnlyFans policy, by the way?
What is it?
No more pornography or sexual material after November.
Why would they want their company to fail? And that's so stupid because somebody, you don't think anybody's going to fill that void? Somebody's going to fill that void. There's going to be a new thing that they're going to put sex on because that's what sells. Literally, sex sells. That's what they say. So, I mean, your OnlyFans are going to go out of business. They're going to change it back. There's zero chance.
So there's going to be
what are you going to put on OnlyFans?
Onlyporn.com is next.
So
somebody's working on that right now.
Also, they're going to play hopscotch with the line. Am I allowed to put my feet on OnlyFans? Size 14. Freaking big old feet, baby. Check out these toes. Like, am I allowed to sell my feet?
Feet and bathwater only.
Right. And is that going to be okay?
I think it's just gratuitous sexual behavior is what they're banning in November or December, something like that. A lot of girls going to have to go back to work.
And like, I if people are happy doing that, like, do it, man. You know, if you want to do that, do it. But there, at the same time, you have to be aware that people have preferences and people have their wants and needs. And if you have sex with 1,000 people and there are some guys out there that are like, hey, that's not attractive to me, you have to be okay with that and understand that you are not going to be able to get with in the future with those types of people. And if that pisses you off, then you should have thought about your decision before you did it. You know, there are some guys that just don't want to be with an OnlyFans model or whatever. So you have to be okay with that because you can't demand that everybody be okay with that. Same with like girls that are like, I want a guy over 6 foot. Okay. You can make those demands, but there are going to be guys out there that, hey, I don't want a girl that's over 250 pounds or whatever. Like, it's a two-way street here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a two-way street. People are going to have their preferences. So I don't know, man.
I don't know where to go with that. I don't
know. So, fun. Well, if you haven't already, please go down below, give us a like. We've had like 40. We had 40 people watching live at one point. We only have 1 like right now. If you could, before you head out, give us a like, give us a heart, give us an angry face if you're mad on our opinions of whatever. But thanks so much for being here with us, Youngstown Stock Channel. As I said, we are in Youngstown Studio. Joe represents Youngstown Studio. I represent the MLO Bros. We'll be back here on Friday with Luke. We appreciate all the comments.
Luke didn't make it today.
He did not. He said he was going to halfway through, but I kind of knew he wasn't coming. So, but if you could give us all a like, give us all a follow. Our ats are right down below me. Down there, right down there, right there. So yeah, please do. Also, Luke and I, MLO Bros, we are loan officers. We are real estate agents. If you need help buying a house, if you need help selling a house, if you need help refinancing, whatever, give us a call. My cell phone is 330-921-8978, and I will help you. We'll use our platform to do whatever you want, sell your house, whatever. So we will see you guys next time. From Joe and I and BJ. He was here for a minute. See you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us